The Creeper and the Dawn of Chaos. Imagine you're sitting in a quiet office in 1971. Computers are the size of refrigerators and only the smartest scientists use them. Suddenly a message flashes across your screen. I'm the Creeper. Catch me if you can. This was the birth of the world's very first computer virus, and it started a digital war that hasn't stopped for over 50 years. While Creeper was just a harmless prank, it opened a door that can never be shut. Today, viruses aren't just jokes. They are the nastiest digital predators ever created. They are invisible, they can jump through the air using Wi-Fi, and they can turn your favorite gadgets against you. Some viruses are so nasty they don't just delete your files, they actually set your hardware on fire by making the battery overheat. Others act like digital vampires, hiding in your system for years, slowly draining your bank account and spying on you through your own webcam without the little light ever turning on. We are talking about code so powerful it can shut down entire cities or hold a hospital hostage. In this video, we're going to walk through the most terrifying digital monsters ever built. From the first Creeper to modern-day nightmares, these are the 8 viruses that proved a few lines of code can change the world forever. The Melissa Mystery. It's May 1999. You open your email and see a message from a friend. The subject line says, "Important message from," followed by your friend's name. Inside, it says, "Here's that document you asked for," with a winking smiley face. You're curious, so you click the attachment. Suddenly, instead of a boring document, weird websites start popping up everywhere. You've just been hit by Melissa, the world's first macro virus to go global. A macro is usually a helpful shortcut in programs like Microsoft Word, but the creator of Melissa, David L. Smith, turned that shortcut into a weapon. The moment you open that file, the virus secretly grabbed the first 50 people in your address book and sent itself to them using your name. Because everyone trusts their friends, the virus spread like wildfire. Within days, it clogged up email systems for huge companies and caused $80 million in damage. David named it after a dancer he met in Florida, but the FBI wasn't dancing, they caught him a week later. Melissa taught the world a hard lesson. Just because an email looks like it's from a friend doesn't mean it's safe. The I love you heartbreak. 1 year after Melissa, a new virus appeared that played with people's emotions. It was called the I love you virus, or the love bug. Everyone wants to be loved, right? So, when millions of people saw an email with the subject I love you, they couldn't help themselves, they clicked. But inside wasn't a love letter, it was a digital wrecking ball. This virus was a worm, which means it didn't need a host program to run, it was a standalone monster. Once clicked, the love bug would go through your computer and find your most precious files, your photos, your music, and your schoolwork. It would delete them and replace them with copies of itself. Imagine losing every photo you've ever taken in 10 seconds. It hit 45 million computers in just 48 hours and caused a staggering $10 billion in damage. It was created by 2 students in the Philippines who actually got away with it because, back then, there weren't even laws against making computer viruses. This event forced governments around the world to realize that the internet needed real laws and real police to protect us from digital heartbreak. The day the internet broke. On January 25, 2003, the world woke up to a digital nightmare. In South Korea, the internet simply stopped working. In Seattle, 911 emergency centers had to use pens and paper because their computers crashed. Airlines couldn't sell tickets and ATMs stopped giving out cash. This wasn't a movie, it was the Slammer worm. Unlike the first 2 viruses, Slammer didn't need you to click anything. It was a ninja virus that attacked the giant servers that run the internet itself. Slammer was incredibly fast. It infected 75,000 servers in just 10 minutes. It worked by sending a tiny, broken request for information that tricked the server into making thousands of copies of the virus and sending them to other servers. It was like a game of tag where everyone is it instantly. The craziest part? Microsoft had actually released a bandage, a security patch, to fix this 6 months earlier, but many people were too lazy to install it. Slammer proved that the internet is like a giant web. If you break one part, the whole thing starts to shake. It taught us that updating our software isn't just annoying, it's a vital part of keeping the world running. The storm is coming. By 2007, hackers got even sneakier. They created the storm worm. It started with an email about a bad storm in Europe, but the goal wasn't to delete your files. It was much creepier. It wanted to turn your computer into a zombie. When people clicked a link in the email, the virus would quietly install itself and then do nothing. At least, nothing you could see. Your computer would keep working fine, but in the background, it was now part of a botnet, a massive army of zombie computers. The people who controlled the storm worm could tell their army of 1.5 million computers to do whatever they wanted. They could make them all attack a website at once to crash it, or use them to send billions of junk spam emails. To stay hidden, the virus changed its own code every 30 minutes, so antivirus software couldn't recognize it. It was like a spy that changes their face and clothes every time they turn a corner. The creators eventually rented out their zombie army to other criminals. It took experts over a year to finally take down the Storm botnet. It was a wake-up call that sometimes the most dangerous virus is the one you don't even know is there. The Invisible Spy. While the Storm worm was building an army, another virus called Mebroot was learning how to be the ultimate spy. Mebroot didn't wait for you to open an email. It used something called a drive-by download. This means you could just visit a normal-looking website that had been hacked, and the virus would hop onto your computer without you doing a single thing. It went straight for the master boot record, the very first thing your computer reads when you turn it on. By grabbing control of the brain of the computer at startup, Mebroot could stay hidden from almost every security program. It then installed a partner in crime called Torpig. This was a man in the browser spy. Every time you typed a password or your parents typed a credit card number, Torpig would write it down and send it to the hackers. It even created fake versions of bank websites that looked 100% real. By 2008, this duo had stolen information from 500,000 bank accounts. This changed the way we think about logging in. It's why we now use things like two-factor authentication to make sure that even if a spy sees your password, they still can't get in. The ghost in the machine. While most viruses want to steal your photos or slow down your internet, there is one virus that was built to do something much more terrifying: destroy physical machines. In 2010, the world discovered Stuxnet, a virus so complex it looked like it was written by a government instead of a lone hacker. This wasn't looking for credit card numbers. It was looking for a very specific type of industrial controller, the kind used in factories and power plants. Stuxnet traveled silently on USB sticks, hopping from computer to computer like a ghost. Once it found its target, a nuclear facility in Iran, it did something brilliant and scary. It took control of the giant spinning machines, called centrifuges, and made them spin at the wrong speed until they literally tore themselves apart. But here's the crazy part. While it was breaking the machines, it showed the human operators a fake video on their screens that said everything was running perfectly. It was like a burglar breaking into a house while playing a video of an empty, peaceful living room on the security cameras. Stuxnet proved that code isn't just digital anymore. It can reach out into the physical world and break real things. The ransomware nightmare. In May 2017, a virus called Wannacry did something that sounded like a movie plot. It took the world's computers hostage. In just one day, it infected over 200,000 computers in 150 countries. When a computer got sick with Wannacry, the screen would suddenly turn blue and a giant red box would pop up. It told the user, "All your files have been locked. If you want them back, you have to pay us $300 in Bitcoin." This is called ransomware, and it was a global emergency. It hit hospitals in England so hard that doctors couldn't see their patients' records and had to cancel surgeries. It hit car factories and even the police. The virus used a secret door in Windows that had been discovered by the National Security Agency (NSA) and then stolen by hackers. The only reason it stopped was because a 22-year-old security researcher found a kill switch hidden in the code, a specific web address the virus checked before it attacked. By registering that website for just $10, he accidentally saved the entire world from the attack. Wannacry showed us that in the digital age, a single line of code can hold the entire world's health and safety for ransom.